By combining traditional and digital sketching techniques, we can give ourselves a greater freedom to explore ideas with efficiency and economy. The ability to use both methods offers the designer a greater flexibility in his or her design work that isn't achievable from one method alone. Here I'm sketching on a mid-tone paper with a fine permanent pen. I'm using construction lines to help me build shapes and to work quickly without the need for a ruler. You can find out more about the purpose and benefits of sketching with construction lines in the links to my other videos in the description below. This traditional way of working is in no way superseded by digital techniques, neither is it outdated. On the contrary, it's a vital tool in the design kit of the successful designer. Being able to grab any form of paper that might be nearby and any type of pen, and to be instantly able to communicate with the client in real time is an important skill to have, and it's a skill which is well worth developing. The more we use construction lines, the more we become confident in laying them down to form a scaffolding within which to build our design thoughts. Because they're very lightweight lines, we can work quickly without fear of them drawing too much attention to any mistakes we might make. You'll know from my other videos that I place the emphasis upon the communication of design thinking, rather than the production of beautiful sketches. With that said, in this video I'm demonstrating that the addition of digital sketching can bring a further dimension to our design work. I'm photographing my page of design ideas and importing the photo into a sketching app. Here I'm using Autodesk Sketchbook on an iPad Pro. Now I'm keeping this simple and only using a handful of drawing tools because I still want to work reasonably quickly. Working quickly allows me to build momentum and to keep my design ideas fresh and freely flowing. I'm using the airbrush tool to produce smooth tones to represent the relationship between my shape's surfaces and an imaginary light source which I've positioned towards the top and right hand side of the page. Broadly speaking, the surfaces to the lower left are darker than those facing towards my imaginary light source. These surfaces are in varying degrees of shadow. The airbrush tool allows me to produce a smooth surface, and the colour palette gives me a full range of tones. I've chosen to work in grayscale to keep it simple, and the mid-tone paper I've used further simplifies the process, as I have a base from which I can choose to go lighter or darker. I'm constantly changing the tone that I'm using, and I'm also adjusting the size of the mark made by the airbrush tool. I'm keeping it small where I'm close to the edges of a surface and large when I'm filling in bigger areas. In addition to this, I'm using a fine pen to create sharp lines. These sharp lines are mostly at the edges where two surfaces meet. To give a sense of the material I'm rendering, I'm using the ruler tool to ensure that my lines are straight. This helps to suggest that the material is hard, smooth and rigid. The sharp lines don't simply act as boundaries around the surfaces, they add to the contrast of the rendering and allow me to create highlights. The highlights suggest areas that are catching the light and reflecting it straight towards the person looking at the shape. In order to seat the shape on the page, rather than leaving it to look as if it were floating, I'm adding a shadow. I'm making this darker the closer it is to the shape. This process, a hybrid of traditional sketching by hand and digital rendering on a tablet, brings together two important disciplines, both valuable skills in the toolkit of the successful designer. To further suggest that the shape is made from a hard smooth material, I'll add some soft reflections with light and dark lines. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, then please remember to subscribe and be sure to hit the notifications tab to ensure you're the first to hear of my next video. Remember that you can find me on Instagram at Product Designer Maker, where you can see behind the scenes and find out what else is going on. For resources, go to my website at www.productdesignermaker.com. Thanks for watching.